Yeah, yikes. That's all I gotta say. Caitlin Clark fans showing no mercy whatsoever, right? It is funny. There's a comment we're going to look at as we're going through the comments saying, oh, here comes all the troll poet.
Indiana Fever fans haven't just voiced frustration. They've launched a full-scale revolt, and the numbers suggest the organization has a real image problem on its hands. What looked like a routine PR push has instead exposed a fan base that is engaged, informed, and unwilling to accept a system they believe is wasting Caitlin Clark's generational talent. This isn't random backlash, it's a coordinated rejection of the old guard, and as opening day approaches, the pressure inside the franchise is only intensifying.
It is ugly. Let's look at this. Our opening night roster is set. This just dropped. Kelsey Mitchell, Hines Allen, Raven Johnson, Aaliyah Boston, Sophie Cunningham, Lexi Hull, Demarius Dantas, Justine Passat, Michaela Timpson, Caitlin Clark, Monique Billings, Shatori Walker-Kimbrough, and Ty Harris. That is your opening night 2026 roster. Right there. Champion.
With the opening night roster officially revealed, the Fever presented a team that appears built for speed, spacing, and perimeter firepower. But the real story emerged in the team's social posts, where individual player graphics revealed something far more valuable than a roster update: a raw map of fan attention. The organization may want to sell balance and unity, but click by click, the audience is making it clear who truly drives the energy, conversation, and commercial gravity around this franchise.
Insight into popularity. A couple of things really caught my attention. Let's go here. Caitlin Clark, 378,000 views on this post, okay? I scrolled down. Number one, Justine Passat, 65,000. I mean, that's pretty interesting because Lexi Hull's got 73. Justine's right on her tail, right? But this was what was really interesting. Sophie Cunningham, 357,000 views on the number 8 post right here. It's clear Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham are I believe, we all know Caitlin is
The engagement numbers begin exactly where you'd expect, with Caitlin Clark far out in front, commanding massive attention as the league's biggest attraction. But as the list continues, the contrast becomes just as revealing as the headline. Solid contributors and promising young players still draw meaningful interest, yet the deeper you look, the clearer it becomes that fan attention inside this franchise is anything but evenly distributed.
Views on the number 8 post right here. It's clear Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham are I believe, we all know Caitlin is the most popular player. I think Sophie is top, really and truly top, probably 3 or 4. As far as actual popularity, there's a lot more actual regular sports fans that know who the hell.
Then comes the number that changes everything. Sophie Cunningham landing almost shoulder to shoulder with Caitlin Clark in total views. That gap is so small it says something powerful about today's WNBA audience. They respond to energy, edge, personality, and players who amplify the show. In contrast, established stars with bigger resumes and contracts are drawing a fraction of that attention. For the Fever, that's more than a social media stat. It's proof that fans are rallying around a new identity and rejecting the hierarchy the franchise may still be trying to protect.
I mean, the comments on this, yikes. Puke emojis. Stop promoting this awful coach if it doesn't make us like her anymore. How about stop trying to force us to glaze her? She destroyed the Vanderbilt program. factual. That's factual. This one just kills me. This way, signature shoes coming in September. What is going on? Really? Ticket sales plummeted since she came to Indiana. The fans have spoken. They don't like the lies from the front office or the questionable figures like Stephanie. Boy, got to be more careful. I mean it. Yeah.
The Fever's attempt to celebrate Stephanie White's USA basketball appointment was supposed to generate respect and momentum, but it did the opposite. Instead of applause, the post became a flashpoint, another moment where fans openly rejected what they saw as manufactured positivity. What the organization framed as validation, the audience treated as propaganda, turning a congratulatory message into a symbol of the growing divide between the front office and its supporters. What made the backlash especially damaging was how specific it became. Fans weren't just venting, they were referencing Stephanie White's coaching history and using it as evidence for why they fear the same problems could follow her to Indiana. Once a fan base starts connecting past performance to present anxiety with that level of detail, the issue is no longer surface-level frustration. It becomes a credibility crisis, and public trust starts to erode fast. At this point, fans aren't reacting emotionally. They're building a case. In their eyes, the contradictions are piling up, and they're calling them out in real time, piece by piece, with growing confidence and almost no patience left for the official narrative. This is where the story becomes bigger than basketball. It is no longer just about play calls, rotations, or social media criticism. It becomes a fight over trust, identity, and who truly controls the future of the Indiana Fever. The fans have reached a point where they are no longer reacting to one bad decision at a time. They are connecting every moment, every message, and every coaching choice into one larger pattern. They remember the confusion. They remember the mixed signals. They remember the times when Caitlin Clark, a player seen by many as a once-in-a-generation talent, appeared to be pulled away from the exact role that made her such a phenomenon in the first place. And in the eyes of the fans, that is not a small mistake. That is the kind of decision that makes people question whether this franchise fully understands the value of what it has. What makes the tension even more powerful is that this fan base is not passive, casual, or easily distracted. These are not people simply scrolling past headlines and repeating whatever they hear on television. They are paying attention. They are watching the film, studying the offense, tracking the spacing, analyzing player usage, and measuring every public statement against what they believe they are seeing on the court. They are also watching the business side, ticket sales, online engagement, player popularity, and the way certain narratives are pushed while others are ignored. So when they hear criticism brushed aside as trolling, negativity, or the influence of YouTubers and podcasters, it does not calm the situation down. It makes the frustration burn even hotter, because from their perspective, it feels like the people in charge are not just avoiding accountability, they are insulting the intelligence of the very audience keeping the spotlight on the league. That is why this moment feels so explosive. The organization may still want to shape the message from the top down, but the fans are no longer accepting that arrangement. They are building their own narrative in real time, backed by clips, comments, numbers, and memories of everything that led to this point. They are no longer asking for permission to challenge the official version of events. They are doing it openly, loudly, and with increasing confidence. And at the center of it all is Caitlin Clark, not just as a star player, but as the symbol of what fans believe this franchise could become if it truly embraced the future instead of protecting the past. That is what raises the stakes so dramatically. Because if the Fever thrive, the fans will say they saw the blueprint all along. But if the same frustrations continue into the season, then every warning, every complaint, and every ounce of backlash will feel justified. Now, with opening day closing in, the pressure becomes impossible to ignore. Every rotation will be questioned. Every offensive set will be dissected. Every result will be measured against the promise of what this team was supposed to be. And that is the real reason the atmosphere feels so heavy. This is no longer a quiet disagreement between a team and its critics. It is a public power struggle between an establishment trying to maintain control and a fan base that believes it has already seen through the illusion. The old system wants patience. The fans want proof. The old voices want trust. The audience wants results. And as the season begins, one truth hangs over everything. The people in charge may still run the franchise, but they no longer control the emotion, the momentum, or the conversation. The fans do, and they are watching every move.